Good morning, girls. Welcome you for the online session of PDNCS. As in the last session, I revised chapter 1. Then, in this, you are going to know about chapter number 2. If you remember, we already seen this quote and it is identifying a very important aspect of teamwork. Individually, we are one drop, but together we are an ocean. It is like unity is our strength. If we work together, if we cooperate each other, then we can achieve much more than the expected result. Again, this picture is giving you an idea of teamwork skill. You can take help of your colleagues. You can help, in fact, to them also by making your individual or mutual efforts. The result will be extraordinary. So, this chapter number 2 is giving you an idea of teamwork skill. If you remember, we discussed the story Whitewashing the Fence. In that also, Mark Twain has given the idea of teamwork skill through the character of Tom that we will discuss later while depicting the story. But here, let us revise quickly about the teamwork skill. What is teamwork? The act of using or combining the skills and talents of all the individuals in a group or team in order to achieve a common goal. Of course, when the goal is similar, when the hands are many, then it would be easier to grab things together, to compile things together. So, when act of using, combining the skills. કોઈ એક ટીમમાં દરેક વ્યક્તિ પાસે અલગ અલગ પ્રકારની આર્ટ હોય છે. એ આર્ટનો ઉપયોગ કરી by using that individual art, we try to become more stronger, to perform as a team and act as a team, to show our talent and to prove our result in a purposeful direction of goal. So, teamwork skills are the qualities and abilities that allow you to work well with others during conversations, projects, meetings or other collaborations. કોઈ પણ પ્રકારનું કામ હોય, in an organization if you are working, then it would be really helping to you to accomplish all your projects in your meetings, for your conversations. Having teamwork skill is dependent on your ability to communicate well, actively listen and be responsible and honest. Not only you have to develop through teamwork, but by proving your honesty, showing your responsibility towards your team will make you more efficient. So, teamwork skills are really essential for your success, no matter when you are working or where you are working, but how you are working is very much important. Working well with the clients, colleagues, managers, and other people in your workplace can help you to complete tasks efficiently while creating an enjoyable environment both for yourself as well as for the others. An organization is that emphasizes good teamwork skills, which is typically a healthy High functioning workplace. So, whosoever I mean, uh, whosoever is in the organization or whatever the organization is, that will emphasize only on good teamwork and which will bring healthy, high functioning workplace environment. Again, it's very important quote given by Henry Ford, a big name. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is a progress. Working together is success. So, these three lines are almost giving you the life learning lesson about unity, about showing your strength in a group, about the group work. Now, from the beginning, we are discussing about teamwork. Then, why teamwork? What is the important aspect that teamwork skill brings? Teamwork skills really helpful for communication, for conflict resolution management, for proper listening, reliability it develops, and it brings respectfulness for each other. What are the benefits of teamwork? No doubt, individually you can use your strength, but in a group you can use strengths of many. Members work to establish an effective team. Members accept role. Meetings are structured. Record keeping enhances your work. Each member uses their own and other skills. Differences are welcomed and used. દરેક વ્યક્તિ પોતાની આવડત દેખાડે છે. જે કોઈ પણના ડિફરન્સીસ હોય છે, you are also welcoming others' differences as well as utilities. For the record keeping purpose, sometimes better meetings can be structured. Each member is able to accept the role of that own, and ultimately members work to establish themselves for the effective team. Now, this is about the story of the Adventures of Tom Sawyer. This is written by the Mark Twain, in which there is one episode. I have already said all these things to you, but to just recall your mind, this is the, I think, second chapter in this particular novel, wherein this whitewashing the fence episode is given. This episode is so popular in this whole book. So, this particularly novel is definitely giving you an idea about the adventures which Tom Sawyer has performed. And the episode is entitled as Whitewashing the Fence in the novel, and you are having the chapter's title as Whitewashing the Fence. From the title itself, we come to know that there is something here to complete. Is it about whitewashing the fence? Is it about painting the fence? Is it about making the work complete given by someone? This is the particular main character, Tom, in the story. He's a very mischievous boy. This whitewashing the fence episode was created in form of punishment to Tom. In the last day, or particularly on the last day when Tom was returning from school, He jumped into the river and he enjoyed himself. He took fun. But when he was coming back, his aunt found him in that particular manner. So when his aunt inquired about everything, then Tom said that whatever he did, so she did not like this, and so she has given punishment to Tom that he has to perform this task of whitewashing. And on Saturday morning, he has to work for this. He has to complete the work in a day. So he said, yes, that I will do it. Then on the Saturday morning, when the morning was so beautiful, when everybody was so happy, when we find generally on the day of ours, especially on Sundays, when we are completely free, we do not have to work for anything, and we can spare our leisure time for ourselves only. On such day, such a heavy loaded work was given to him. So he was not happy with this idea of painting the fence. But when he was looking at the fence, he was completely shocked. His happiness was gone because that fence was 9 feet high. 30 yards of such a long fence and 9 feet high. And he has to perform or accomplish task of whitewashing that for thrice. So this was the fence that he is supposed to paint. He has gone to check the wall along with the paintbrush and paint color. So the things were there with him. He was looking at the fence. Then he started making the task. He was painting. He performed this operation from beginning up to the edge of the fence on the upper side, and again he repeated the operation for twice. So he was painting the fence. Meanwhile, he was thinking about the other boys who were enjoying, who were definitely having good time on this particular Saturday. So one of his friends came, Jim. The another character was introduced, Jim. Jim was there with the bucket. He was in fact sent to collect the water, to fetch the water from the pump station. So in between he met Tom. Then Tom and Jim had a conversation. Then even Tom proposed him to finish this task, to help him in this task, and in return he will definitely fetch water for him at the pump station. Usually Tom did not like this job to fetch the water, but on this particular day he found that it is better to fetch the water than to paint the wall or the fence. So he forwarded this proposal, but Jim was not in a mood to take up because he was very much afraid of Aunt Polly. So there was a clear instruction that only Tom has to perform this, nobody else can. Then after Tom tried to bribe him with the white alley, which he was carrying with him. So when Tom particularly kept this white ally on the palm of Jim, then Jim was literally attracted from this kind of playing thing. So naturally, human nature, human tendency to get the things. So for a moment he was enchanted by this white ally. But later on, he realized that he cannot, so he denied and he went for his usual task. Then what happens, like Tom has to perform this action anyhow. So he was doing, whether he was enjoying or not, that is secondary. Then, in a sad mood, he revised the operation for a few times. Then, another character is introduced. His name is Ben Rogers. Ben Rogers was personifying a steamboat. He was behaving like as if he was the steamboat and he was handling the big misery, particularly a steamboat, and he as if he was the only person, who was performing the different roles. Like he was the steam engine, he was the captain, he was the one who was controlling the wheel, the direction of the steamboat mechanism. He was only the handling. So here the different types of sounds are created by him, which was again humorous for a moment. When he was passing near to the Tom, he was having the apple with himself. He was in fact eating the apple and enjoying the apple. But Tom did not observe, as if Tom neglected the thing. Later on, when Jim asked officially to Tom, then Tom suddenly willed and responded as if he just heard the voice before a few seconds. So he was pretending to work in a conscious manner. Later on, they had a conversation with each other for a while, and in that, Ben Rogers was literally getting more and more interested in the work of whitewashing. So Ben Rogers ultimately forwarded the proposal like, let me whitewash a little, and in return I'll give you the apple. You can enjoy it, you can relish it, and you can sit for a while. So this is what they decided. Then Ben has started working for Tom, as Tom pretended pretended not to give in such a manner. But he finally gave his brush to Ben Rogers. Now Tom was relaxing himself on the barrel and he was tangling his legs in a relaxing attitude. And in that case, this big misery was completely tired due to the afternoon time. He was having solid perspiration. He was literally sweating and working so hard for Tom. Meanwhile, Tom tried to bribe some other boys, Billy Fisher, Johnny Miller. So these were the boys who literally came to just meet him. But Tom manipulated them and convinced them successfully to complete their act of whitewashing. So they all painted on behalf of Tom, and ultimately the task was done. So at the end, the operation was done, the paint was completed, painting was done, whitewashing the fence with 3 coat of whitewash. The fence was looking very pretty, and ultimately, Tom realized during this journey of work that human nature of work that attracted him. Initially, he did not like to work, but later on, he understood the biggest nature of law, that is karma. One has to perform, and it is definitely up to you to in fact, take work from your with the help of your body. To an extent, you stretch your body, you will get the result. If you do not work, then you will not be able to stretch yourself in the positive direction to accomplish something. So here the again law of nature explained through the character of Tom, that one has to perform his or her karma on earth. One cannot sit in an idle way. So at the end he realized this, and he finally reported about the task to the Aunt Polly. Now girls, this was from the side of me, the clear cut oral explanation. Let us quickly, within 5 to 7 minutes, revise the story through its verbal aspect. Here I have given the description slide wise. So this is also done by me, but to complete my task in a proper sense, I thought that let me have the quick recap of this also. So here in the beginning of the story, if you recall yourself again, then the Saturday morning is described in a beautiful way by the writer. He has kept bright, fresh, and brimming elements of joy and happiness. Every face was looking cheerful and it was looking like a spring. The comparison was done with the spring. And about the Cardiff Hill beyond the village was found full of green, and land was very much enjoyable with the beauty of nature. So this was about the beginning. Later, we all know that Tom has got the punishment, like he has to whitewash the thing. Like Tom appeared on the sidewalk with a bucket of whitewash with a long handled brush. Then he surveyed everything. Then all gladness left him. He was completely looking disappointed with his low spirit. The reason behind his sadness was that he has to work on Saturday morning when everyone is enjoying and having leisure to do anything. So, this was the reason behind his sadness. Jim's entry, as we all know that he was sitting on the tree box Tom was sitting over there, and at that time, Jim was there with his tin pail, and he was singing Buffalo Girls, a typical regional song that usually in our Gujarati we have in the same way they have in their particular area. So that's a kind of a regional song. He has to go to the town pump to fetch the water, where white, mulatto, and Negro boys, along with girls who can spend good time over there. He also thought that pump is too near to go because it was a distance of 50 yards, and so he thought about to put up a proposal to Jim. Tom's proposal to Jim, he decided to offer him such a work of whitewashing, and he bribed by the help of white LA. For a moment he put down his spell and checked, but at the end he denied due to the fear of Aunt Polly. His whitewashing and the arrival of Aunt Polly. Tom was whitewashing with vigor, and Aunt Polly was retiring from the field. Tom's energy did not last because of the Saturday morning fun. He was quite upset. Now he wanted to become a trader. So he, in fact, sold his things like toys, marbles, trash, and whatever he was carrying in return of work. So at this dark and hopeless moment, an inspiration burst upon him. Then the arrival of Ben Rogers. I told you that Ben was personifying the steamboat. Tom was working tranquilly, peacefully was working. Ben has come to ridicule him. So Tom was pretending as if the, Ben was pretending as if the hurricane was found. So he was giving orders and execution into the tough time. Personifying a big misery steamboat, which was entitled as Big Misery. So this was the sound created by him, and to bring fun and humor in the story. Again, Tom was surveying the work which he has done as if with an eye of an artist. So then he gave his brush another gentle sweep and surveyed the result. Tom's mouth watered for the apple because Ben was eating an apple. He was there. And we all know that then what happened? Like they exchanged. Ben has given his apple to Tom, and Tom has given his work to complete him. Tom, as a trader, tried to bribe other boys, and he successfully did it. Like Ben's opportunity for whitewashing the fence, along with Ben, this was the material that Tom was carrying. He had a lot of stuff, trash things, and some boys came to make fun of him, but they remained to whitewashing. જેટલા જેટલા છોકરાઓ ત્યાં આવતા એની મસ્તી કરવા ત્યાં જ રહી જતા because Tom was performing an art of treading the things. Billy Fisher for a kite, Johnny Miller in for dead rat and string to swing it. This went on for an hour after an hour. When the middle of the afternoon came, the poor boy in the morning had turned into a wealthy man. So he had a nice job with the help of these many boys. This was a kind of teamwork created by Tom. Finally, Tom's discovery for a law of human action. Initially, Tom did not like to work, but later on he discovered a great law of human nature. It is always necessary to put more efforts to attain difficult tasks. And it is said that here, વર્ક કન્સિસ્ટ ઓફ વોટ એવર અ બોડી ઇઝ ઓબ્લાઇજ ટુ ડુ. તમે તમારા શરીર પાસેથી જેટલું કામ લેવડાવી શકો એટલું તમારું બોડી સ્ટ્રેચ કરી શકે, એન્ડ દેટ પ્લે કન્સિસ્ટ ઓફ વોટ એવર અ બોડી ઇઝ નોટ ઓબ્લાઇજ ટુ ડુ. Finally, the boy mused a while over a substantial change which taken place in him and in his worldly circumstances. Then he went on towards the headquarters to report his aunt Polly about the completion of task. Here the story ends, and I wish that you will revise it for your exam, and this would be really helping session, a kind of remedial session to solve your queries and to remove your doubts. So have a good day, girls. Revise the things, and whatsoever query you have, you can message me personally. Thank you very much and have a nice day.